Welcome to Green is Good, raising awareness of each individual's impact on the environment and helping to create a more beautiful and sustainable world. Now, here's John Shigarian, Chairman and CEO of Electronic Recyclers International, and Mike Brady.
Hey, welcome to Green is Good today, and we're so excited about today's show. I'm going to just tell you something. We're going to jump into it. We're not even going to do our typical back and forth. Mike, we're having a little party here today.
Yeah, and it's a pizza party is what it is. I am so hungry.
It is a pizza party. We are so lucky today to have in studio, not a calling guest. We have an in-studio guest. We have Mike Parisi. Mike, welcome today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mike Parisi is a local entrepreneur here in the Fresno area, and Mike has brought to Fresno and the Central Valley the greenest pizza in America and the greenest food chain in America, Pizza Fusion. And we are so excited to talk about how Pizza Fusion is feeding the people of Fresno and feeding different parts of America with some of the best food and cleanest and organic pizza that's out there in the nation. Mike, tell us about how you and why you brought Pizza Fusion to Fresno.
Well, my wife and I were looking to start our own business. It was very important for us to do something that we would feel good about, that we could get behind, that we have some passion. We didn't want to do just another fast food thing, so we actually discovered it online, started doing our research. I've been into cooking for a long time and Italian cuisine, especially since my family background. So I always appreciated good quality ingredients and organic produce. And we read about this and we just said, this is it. We've got to do this. We've got to bring this to this market. And especially after we tried the product, we said there's nothing like it.
Well, tell us about where did you go and try it and what was the first bite like? And then Mike Brady, wait a second. Wait, Mike Parisi was generous enough to bring us a couple samples today. And I already have been there. What did you think of it, Mike?
I was blown away. I mean, seriously, I first heard about you, Mike, and Pizza Fusion from a friend of ours who is the executive director for Rotary Storyland Playland Park, our friend Barry Falk. And he said, I've got this gluten intolerance, but I am finally saved. I can go get pizza. If you ever get a chance to try this place called Pizza Fusion, do it. It rocks. Well, that was recommendation enough from Barry, but tasting is believing. And Mike Parisi, that is just amazing pizza. First thing I noticed is it did not leave any kind of an aftercoat on my tongue after I had two pieces. And I didn't get that immediate pizza bloat that you get within a few minutes after you eat your pizza.
That's right.
And why is that?
I mean, we're using top-notch ingredients, and that's really where it starts. It's gourmet pizza. I mean, with the dough, we make the dough fresh in-house. We make two kinds of dough in-house, the white crust and our multigrain crust. We make in-house, fresh daily. Over 75% of the ingredients we use are organic. If it's not organic, it's all natural, which is very important, especially when it comes to the meats and the cheeses. We use all natural cheese. There's no preservatives, no nitrates in any of the meats that we put on there. I think you had the sausage in tricolored. The sausage to me just has an amazing flavor, and it's not greasy.
You're absolutely right. And also, I had you brought in the Greek pizza, which John is your favorite.
Yeah, I love the Greek.
That was off the hook, especially with the multi-grain crust. It's just unbelievable. And I mean, what's really cool, guys? I'm sitting here thinking about this. Okay, this is a show about the environment and recycling, and what the heck? They're talking about pizza.
Hey, this is part of this. Pizza Fusion fits perfectly in the sustainability and green revolution movement. I mean, Mike, what are the three major parts of the sustainability movement?
Well, it's people, planet, and profit.
And this is all about all of that. I mean, Mike Parisi's here to make a profit. That's a business. He's feeding the people good food. And what's more local? If they say all politics are local, what's more local than the food that you're eating?
Sure, local produce.
And the planet. When we talk about today all the things that Pizza Fusion's doing to save the planet or to preserve the planet, it's amazing. But I want to go back to something. I want to go back to Mike's love at first bite. Tell us where you went to try the pizza first to see if it really was the real deal.
Good question. Well, after we did our research, we thought, all right, this sounds good, but is this too good to be true? Mm-hmm. I've spent a lot of time in Italy, so my standards were pretty high.
Good.
We flew back to Florida. Fort Lauderdale, which is where the first franchise
started.
Started. And they took us to one of the stores, and we sat down. We had the first bite, and we're just like, and my wife and I looked at each other and said, "All right, we're going to do it." I mean, this is just.
It was love at first bite.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Great. And so now you brought it here, and why don't you tell how is the community responding to your news chain? When did you open, and what's the response been like?
We opened December 15th, 2008. We've been open for about 5 months now. The response has been tremendous. Every day, I think I just showed you 2 emails I got today. Yeah. Every day I'm getting feedback, whether it's in the store or through email. Just about people are so appreciative that we brought this to this market, and particularly to Clovis too, because everything seems to go to the River Park or to the Fig Garden area, which is true. And we thought, what, we want to start in our community. We live in Clovis. We've been there for over 18 years. Our kids go to school in Clovis. We know a lot of people there, and we thought, what, if we like this, there's other people there that are going to appreciate this, and that's been the response. And we get a lot of people, especially with the gluten-free aspect of it, that finally can eat pizza again.
That's so great. My family, we learned about it from the lady who does my hair, and we came in and we were skeptical. And we came in and we've been back at least 10 times, Mike. We love your product. My kids love it. My wife loves it. And it just makes us feel good when we're there. We never go home feeling bloated, and it's just so yummy in the tummy. Hey, Mike, tell us a little bit about, you talk a good talk, and Pizza Fusion sounds really good, but tell us about the walk. Tell us about why Pizza Fusion and everything in the chain is all about the green DNA.
All right, we've started from head to toe. The business is about the green movement and supports the green movement. We built our store towards LEED certification, which is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It's kind of a point system. So when you come into our store, we have recycled blue jeans we use as insulation. Our ceiling tiles are made from 71% recycled content. We use bamboo throughout the whole store, which is a sustainable product. We use soycrete stain on the floors, low VOC paint on the walls.
But even today, you drove here
in a hybrid vehicle. Yeah, we have 2 company cars and we deliver solely in hybrid vehicles.
Solely in hybrid vehicles.
So you don't let your employees drive their own cars when they're making a
Nope.
Pizza Fusion delivery.
Won't happen.
I mean, how cool is that, Mike?
Well, that's like you said, John. That is walking the talk.
I mean,
or driving the talk.
It's just driving.
As the case may be. Yeah.
Now, also the box that you brought the pizzas in today was made out of.
Yeah, they're made from recycled paper products. We actually encourage recycling because if you bring the box back to the restaurant, we give you a discount on your next order.
And that's part of what Mike, we always talk about.
Yeah.
Changing the behavior, helping to encourage small changes, as you always say, that lead to greater benefits.
Yeah, small changes on a massive scale can create a tremendous change. So you are actually giving your customers a discount if they bring back the box that was made out of recycled paper to begin with.
Exactly.
That rocks.
I mean, how do you beat that? I mean, I just love everything that you guys do. Now, in the store itself, the tables look like they have a glass look or something. They're made out of recycled.
Well, our bar counter and also the counters in the bathroom are made from recycled wine bottles. Recycled glass.
Right.
And it's also made in a substance called an eco-ceramic stone.
Wow.
And I'm not an expert at it, but the way it was told to me, it's 2 natural minerals combined with water, and it creates a gel, and then it crystallizes, and it's harder than concrete. And instead of filling in with sand or something, you fill it in with something that's not going to go into a landfill.
When people come in and they see all that stuff, besides the yummy pizza that you have, which is truly a delight in the mouth, it's a party in the mouth. How do they respond to all these sort of new products around them made out of recycled goods? What's the response like?
I think people, they're curious at first. I mean, some people have come in specifically because they just want to see what the counter looks like.
Yeah.
And then they kind of, embrace the whole thing and just kind of go, this is wild. And when you come to the store, I mean, it looks like something you'd see in San Francisco or LA. I mean, it doesn't look like we're here in Fresno, Clovis. And so I think people appreciate that. They get kind of transplanted out of the market for a little bit. They get to try, some gourmet pizza with a different feel, and it happens to be green.
Hey, listen, that is so forward thinking because that's where we're going.
It really is cool. As I'm sitting here watching you talk, Mike, you are obviously lit up. You're like John. You are both.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
but you are like John in that you have a very obvious passion for what it is that you do. And it is, I mean, it's all encompassing. It's not just something that you do from 9 to 5 or 6 days a week and then forget about it. This is a part of, like, John, I'm starting to find myself using your phrase about it's in your DNA.
It's a green.
But it really is. It really and truly is. And that's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And once you start getting into it, we recently remodeled our home. You start looking for little ways you can do things at home. If you can do it and it makes sense for the environment, to me, it's kind of, a no-brainer.
Yeah, and it's not like just completely flipping your entire life upside down. That's not what it is. I think so many times when people hear the word environmentalist or environment, they think, oh, okay, here we go again, just more whacked out stuff. But it's really about stuff that makes sense. That's all. And again, small little changes, like you say, when you go to just remodel your house, you start thinking in a whole new different way.
Well, yeah, and we were talking about this earlier, but the term organic goes back to an old tradition. So I think, people see organic as a new thing and it's, a little bit futuristic, but really it reverts back to old traditions of farming. And it's kind of like we've lost a little bit of sight there on really, where our food should be coming from.
Well, John, like you were saying, it's way back when we used to eat differently and farm differently, we didn't have the obesity epidemic nor some of the diseases that we have today.
No, this is such a great thing because it's time to turn back the clock. And really, Mike is truly one of the leaders of the Green Revolution because this is where we're going. He's not really an entrepreneur as much as he's an ecopreneur.
I like that, ecopreneur.
Yeah, that's what he is. I mean, and that's what we need more of here in California Valley and across America. Let's talk about across America. How many pizza fusions are there? You said this started in Florida. How are you early in this process, or are you one of the latecomers to the pizza fusion?
Oh, no, we are definitely at the ground level. When we signed up, we were the 28th store in the country to sign up.
Wow.
But we were the 16th store to open. We were actually the 4th store to open in California. Santa Monica's coming soon. And I think right now there's about probably 24 stores now in the country, maybe 25.
How many do you think, what's the vision of the founders? How many do they believe they're going to build out over the next couple of years here?
They definitely want to, I had heard 500 stores in the next 5 years.
Wow. I believe that's going to happen.
Unbelievable. And how cool is it that Clovis, Fresno Clovis, actually has a pizza fusion before the hip and trendy folks in Santa Monica. I think that rocks.
That does rock, and that's a testimony to Mike to be out there and be out front, because I think when people learn that you're really doing this and really the leader in the sustainability movement with regards to food, they're going to be the path to your door.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope so.
Hey, listen, why don't when we come back, we're going to have more of Pizza Fusion, more of Mike Parisi. We got a ton to talk about. Just come on back to Green is Good.
If a little green is good, more is even better. Now, back to Green is Good with John Shigarian and Mike Brady.
Welcome back to Green is Good, and we're back here this week with Mike Brady, as always. And today our special guest is Mike Parisi, the ecopreneur who brought Pizza Fusion to Clovis, California. Pizza Fusion is the great-tasting gourmet pizza with a conscience. Mike, welcome back. And Mike, I just want to ask you, we talked earlier in the first segment about this whole gluten-free pizza crust that you have and how the public is responding to it. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, the founders of Pizza Fusion, once they got into it, wanted to take this as far as they could, as far as the care and of our customers. And people with celiac disease or cannot break down a substance called gluten, which is found in wheat. So we're one of the only providers of a gluten-free crust. And we're bringing that opportunity now back to the market. And, every day I get people coming in and saying, I haven't had pizza in 6 years because I have celiac disease or have an intolerance to wheat. And they're so thankful that they can now have pizza again. And
do we even have any statistics out there that are floating on the net or anywhere? And what percentage of our population is gluten intolerant?
Yeah, I've heard it's 3 to 5% of the total population has been diagnosed with celiacs. But I also hear here that's highly underestimated too.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, I know I eat your pizza all the time, and I never feel sleepy or, that little icky feeling after I get bloated. Mike, how do you feel now? You had it about a half hour ago.
It really is amazing because, John, normally and I love pizza.
Yeah, me too.
But about halfway through eating it, I'm thinking, I'm going to be feeling this in a little bit. And I've got one of those cast iron stomachs that can digest just about everything, but still it's that feeling like, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And after 2 different kinds of pizza, Mike, I really, like I said, the first thing I noticed, there was no aftertaste or that greasy feeling, the coating you get on your tongue. But I don't feel bloated. I don't feel like taking a nap.
And I'll tell you what, in our family, everyone's as becoming the trend is watching their waist and their stomach.
Absolutely.
And my daughter, who's 22, my wife, and my son. And we not only love your pizza, but we eat your salads. I mean, and everything on the menu has an organic origination. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the whole organic food that you serve in your restaurant and what that really means? Some people see organic as a little bit, Mike, radical or tree huggy?
Kind of weird, or what's this all about?
Birkenstock, granola,
exactly.
What's going on?
Am I signing up to join a cult if I go organic? What is this?
Tell us about, how are people excited about it when they read it, and, what's the response been like?
First, let me say too that my wife is a health nut too. Okay. So we stopped eating pizza for a long time prior to this, so we were happy to have something good again. But organic really is a new term on an old tradition. It's really taking a lot of the harmful pesticides, a lot of the harmful fertilizers out of the equation, so you're left with wholesome food. Take, for example, if you go to any salad bar and you just get the iceberg lettuce, that thing's mostly water and it's loaded with chemicals that were sprayed on it. Whereas we're serving, either fresh arugula, fresh romaine, organic tomatoes. So you feel better and it tastes better. And that's the thing that I want most everybody to know is that organic food, I think at some point, people think of tofu and granola, and I'm not sure why. But it actually is the opposite. It's actually gourmet and great tasting.
I mean, we were talking before while we were eating your yummy pizza. Tell us about what how you look at it in terms of really going back to original times that we were really eating this way.
Well, okay, my first experience going back to Italy, where my parents are from. I was 7 years old, and my grandfather literally had a horse and buggy and took us out to his farm. And my dad has always had his own farm or garden growing up, and he still does today. He makes his own wine. We eat right out of the garden in the summertime. He grows his own fruits and vegetables, and it tastes awesome. And I think that's just where I got my love for it. I think back then it was necessity. And now it's just like I appreciate it, and it tastes better.
Hey, so now people could come in. They can have wonderful gluten-free pizza made with lots of organic and really local products. They can have a great salad if they want to have salad. But also, there's something for everyone. Talk about the beer that also is.
Yeah, we have going back to the gluten-free thing.
Yeah.
We have over 4 different varieties of gluten-free beer.
Never heard of such a thing till today, ever.
But also we carry on draft. We carry mostly New Belgium Brewery brews. We also carry a couple of imports, Samuel Smith's organic lagers and ales out of England, which are entirely organic. And the reason why we aligned ourselves with New Belgium Breweries because they're a sustainable company. They practice sustainable business practices, and we're one of the only people to carry almost exclusively their organic wheat beer on tap.
So there's something for everyone who comes in. You could have any experience you want. No one's going to be shortchanged when they come into Pizza Fusion.
No, you can get one of our gourmet salads. You can get sandwiches. We do a portobello grill sandwich.
Yeah.
Or you can go with any one of our pizzas.
Yeah. Listen, I have in front of me. You brought in something that's just really. Mike and I are just really were blown away by this. You brought in a whole group of what looks like plastic cups, forks, knives, containers that hold salads and pizza slices, and then you gave us a good education. Tell us about why these are special and why our listeners are going to be totally stoked about how these are made and how these will then go back to the earth.
I mean, you look at them, they look just like plastic.
Yep.
I mean, they look like plastic to-go containers, plastic to-go cups. Mm-hmm. And they're not. They're made out of cornstarch, so they are guaranteed to biodegrade within 30 to 60 days. And even the utensils that you see there, they look like plastic, but they're actually made from cornstarch. And we even have some that are made from potato starch too.
I mean, hang on, John. Okay, John just handed me the container, which really, if this were television, you'd look at it and say, "Come on, no way, that's made out of cornstarch." Holding these plastic fork.
Yeah.
It's not plastic.
No, it's cornstarch.
It sure looks like it. It is durable as all get out. That is actually, that's made out of cornstarch.
Yeah, cornstarch. And you can throw it into a landfill and feel good about it.
I mean, this is simple stuff. These are simple changes in how we purchase materials that are made from, from stuff that's very compostable and that's not going to now ruin the earth or degrade the earth. It's going to go back to the earth. And this is what the whole sustainability movement and the revolution's about, the green revolution.
Yeah, and what's really interesting too is, my wife and I have been commenting now that we go to the grocery store or something, more and more people are saying, no, I don't want the plastic bag. I want the paper bag.
That's right. We had a whole show last week. We were talking about that on our show, and you're so right about that. But this is just another great testimony to your green DNA and Pizza Fusion's green DNA and your commitment to the community and to the environment, which leads me into, we have a lot of listeners who not only are here in the Central Valley, but in different parts of the country, Mike. How do we get them to the Pizza Fusions in the areas that they're in? I mean, do they go to pizzafusion.com, or what's the way to do this?
Absolutely. You can go to pizzafusion.com and you'll see all the locations. There's many in Florida. New Jersey now has one. Naperville up in Illinois near Chicago.
When you're with the owners and the original visionaries, how many do you think they want to do in the next 2, 3, 4 years?
I think they got their sights set on 500 in the next 5 years.
All right, so now let's back it down to the Central Valley and you. You're actually a local guy.
Yes. I was raised in Visalia from the age of 3.
Wow.
And then I've been in Clovis for the last 20 years. So I'm a Central Valley boy.
You're a homeboy.
Yep, through and through.
That's great. So, supporting local business is always to have a national chain, but have a local element, a local ecopreneur that's owning it and running it and bringing it to all of us. How many do you want to build of these? What's your
I want to
goal?
build as many as the market, wants me to build. I mean, I plan to expand as much as I can. And it's really just, something that I will continue to do for as long as I can. I just think it's that important, and I think it's I think the market will benefit from it, and based on the feedback that I've received, I think that's so. So it's just a matter of making it happen.
When did you open this store?
We opened on December 15th.
December 15th.
2008. So we've been open 5 months.
That's great. I mean, when it goes down to the business enterprise, as a green entrepreneur, an eco entrepreneur, what's happening? Are you hitting the numbers that you want to hit? Are you scaling it the way you envisioned?
We're rising in our numbers. We're not there yet completely. We're still up in the startup phase. And with a little bit more support, I think we can get there and make it as big as it needs to be.
Yeah, that's just great.
Well, I'm thinking about one of the things that in any business, but especially in the restaurant or food or beverage business, it's really all about getting your initial customer base, getting out there by word of mouth, because nothing travels faster than good word of mouth. You got to try this place. But how about talking about sustainability, your return customers? How is that working for you right now?
It's the people who come in and try it.
Yeah. Repeat
business. The repeat business, I would say, is 80-85% of the people that try it come back.
That's a phenomenal number.
Yeah, it is that good. It's the organic thing is a double-edged sword. There's people that come to the restaurant just because it's organic, and they already know I'm getting quality and good ingredients. And then there's people that have an assumption maybe that it's expensive, or like I said before, that we're doing tofu or something crazy.
Right.
And it's neither. And so once those people come in and try it, I think they'll understand the importance of it and the difference of it, and it doesn't need to be expensive.
Well, that's a key point. I want you to talk about that, because this is something that we've talked about on the show numerous times. People hear the word organic or they hear green and they think it's going to be a lot more expensive than
I would
typical.
agree with that.
So what give us your price points compared to other price points in comparable business.
Our specialty pizzas, we consider our organic pepperoni as a specialty pizza. It's $14 and it feeds 2 to 3 people with top-notch and quality ingredients.
Wow.
One of our best sellers is the Greek pizza. It's $16. Again, it feeds 2 to 3 people. And our cheese pizza, which is, I like to make this comparison because if you go down the street, the medium-sized cheese pizza, which is 8 slices, is $16.
Okay.
Ours is 8 slices, feeds 2 to 3 people. Cheese pizza is $12. We're about 30% cheaper.
So you could be green, you could be organic, and you could also be a value.
That's right. With top ingredients.
With top ingredients.
Right.
I mean, that's just, that's what America was built on. Value, but great brand, great product behind it.
You're so right, John. The taste is what really, that's the ultimate arbiter is how it tastes.
Oh, and we know from our own experiences, Mike, that it tastes great. It tastes great. My kids love coming because they get inspired. They see a different thing every time they're there. My son went into your, let's call it the little boys' room.
Okay, gotcha.
The other night, and the urinal was much different than when we were growing up. Tell us a little bit about how's that been? Are the kids enjoying the experience as much as the adults? Are the kids getting the whole green aspect of this and the tastiness? Kids obviously like good food, but tell us about kids' response to this whole thing.
The kids have been great. The high schoolers, I think they're maybe ahead of the time a little bit than maybe some of the 25 to 49-year-olds or so.
Right.
And we're fortunate. We're right in between two high schools, Buchanan and Clovis High,
right.
And we get a lot of students coming in. As a matter of fact, a student at Buchanan High School wrote an article on us about his first experience trying the Greek. And published it in the local newspaper, and more and more of them are coming in every time now, and they're bringing their parents, and they're like, "No, you got to try this stuff." So
that's great. I mean, every time I go in, there's always families in there.
Yeah, it's very well. That's Clovis. I mean, that's
right.
Fresno, that's Clovis, and it's a family community, and we welcome that. I mean, we're a family-run business. Last night,
right.
my youngest daughter was wiping down tables.
I love it. What a great experience. How old is she? 10, you said?
She's 10, yeah.
And also we were talking about like in the house when everyone's using the shower in the morning, you run out of hot water.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened to me a lot. We got 4 in our house. And tell us, even your water heater is. Yeah,
we use a tankless water heater. It serves 2 purposes. I mean, it keeps your water temperature consistently at the temperature you need it to be, but also it doesn't take up much space.
Well, listen, this Mike, you have been the most inspiring and wonderful guest that we could ever have because you really hit every portion of the sustainability movement. People, feeding people with value, but healthy, good food. Your pizza fusion is just amazing, and we speak from experience. Obviously, the planet. Obviously, it's the greenest. I have to say, it's the greenest food chain that I've seen in the United States. I mean, on every level, you guys are green DNA. You're really talking the talk, but walking the walk, and profit. You're in this to make a living and make a nice profit, mm-hmm. and we've got to support you. And I'm inspired. Mike, are you inspired today?
Well, I think you got a customer for life in the Brady household. A couple of them.
Yeah.
My wife is she's on me about my pizza habit. I think that's all turned around. Thanks, Mike.
And listen, Mike, one day we're going to have you come back, and as you grow your vision, we're going to have you come back. Will you come back one day?
Absolutely.
And listen, I hope everyone comes and supports Mike Parisi and Pizza Fusion here in Clovis, California, and support Pizza Fusion across America because this is the chain of the green revolution. Because green is good.